this build is literally a walking simulator. What's up everyone, Games here, and today I'm coming at you with my Unibomber Chroma, Righteous Frost Chroma. I'm not even sure what to call it at this point, because the more I was building this build, the more ridiculous things I saw it do, so I don't even know what to label it as. But it's Chroma. Roll the intro, we'll get straight into it. Okay, so the idea behind this build is that Null Star counts as a weapon, and because it counts as a weapon, Vex armor buffs it. And on top of that, we also are very tanky, survivable, have crazy priming with Bubonico, which also gives us an effect of being like a Unibomber. I don't know what a Unibomber is. I know it's like an airplane that actually failed or something on their mission, but it sounds cool. It sounds cool. So you just feel like a bombing jet. It's kind of ridiculous, but more than that, it's also a walking simulator. You just walk around enemies and they explode. It's stupid, it is OP, it is super fun. So let's get into it. It is max investment, by the way. Probably should have prefaced that. Let me demonstrate this, because it's all good and well talking about it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to when I've built up all the armor and weapon buffing from Vex armor, and then just show you what it does. Okay, now that I've built everything up, we got 2029% armor and 1594% weapon damage. And yeah, let's see. Let's go. Boom. I'm walking. I'm not doing anything. Okay, so sure, like this is just a battle group, why not? Clear, let's go with Heavy Gunner Eximus. I'm jumping around, but that's all I'm really doing. There we go, they're dead. Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't as quick, but does it matter? Alright, now let's try a little bit harder. I'm gonna just be pressing Null Star. Just recasting Null Star and that's it. There we go. And also note that Avalon, my Panzer Volpofiler, was down. Okay, so for the build. For the mods this is what I'm running. Feel free to just copy it, because yeah, it's pretty standard, to be honest. We just have Neutron Star we need to make space for. We have Ice Storm, which we proc with our Chroma Primes. We do have, yes, we can do cold stacks with Spectral Scream and Elemental Ward, but everything dies before they get to 10. So we need a Chroma Prime to just and freeze them. Make it nice and quick. Here we're just so survivable, it's insane. We have our armor going to absolutely crazy proportions. It gets to about 2000% armor. Yeah, we have 20k and a bit armor. Crazy. We're not dying. We're not. Unless you get armor stripped, well, you're not dying. Also, if you are willing to sacrifice 40% strength, which might be worth it, you can play something like Vazarin. I think it's Vazarin that has the immunity thing. But really this is also the solution. A very nice, comfortable solution, because it just quickly gets you over guard and you're not worried about statuses too much. Another thing as well to note with the Grimoire, once you get to 60% strength with this, you don't have to keep hitting the same amount of enemies. You can hit one enemy with the Alt Fire and it will refresh the timer. Just make sure to refresh it before it runs out and you'll constantly be at 60%. Because what I do find with Grimoire is, once you get going with the builds, everything dies so quickly that constantly getting 60% is a bit more challenging. It usually even takes about 2 fires of it. but once you are there, you just keep refreshing it. And if you didn't get there, you got to 30, kill the enemies, get your charges back, fire it again, your 30% will still be there, and it will pick it up from that 30% to get it back up to 60. It's very, very handy. The Ogre Seeker mods are nice when you don't run persistence, and Fulmination is just there to make the old fire a bit bigger. Bubonico is there for the memes, for the themes, for the new gun kind of play. Originally I was running it as like a Unibomber thing, but this just Null Star is so good on its own. Like, I prefer to play it really as a caster and have Bubonico there for fashion. It's a good gun, don't get me wrong, like this build shred, but it's also not necessary. As said already at Chroma Prime, we are running mainly for the freeze. So this is the build for it. I'm pretty sure it's a fairly standard. This is my Riven. The combo duration is actually very nice on my Riven now, because I don't run primary dexterity or secondary dexterity on either of my weapons, so the extra combo duration is nice. For the evolutions, just have a quick peek here. The +1 range is nice. You can also go with movement speed if you prefer. And yeah, there you go. Actually, I would probably recommend go movement speed. I just usually actually use a Chroma Prime. If you wanted to, you can. I mean, this build will buff that as well. So if you want to go down the melee route, you can do that. If you wanted to fire guns, you can do that. If you just want to cast abilities, you can do that. It is beautiful. It is a very, very beautiful build. For the Archon shards, we play 4 red for strength and 1 purple for the equilibrium effect. Because I did notice that you struggle for energy a little bit if you don't have the purple. I was playing 5 strength before, but it doesn't matter. It's 15% strength. That doesn't make or break the build in any way, shape or form. For Parazon, power drain just to get extra strength, and then health and end jobs. Madurai, because Madurai is the best focus school in the game, and I will die on that hill. You don't need the energy regen that much to be playing Xenoric. I also want to mention, if you don't want to run something, you don't have to. Like, this build on its own, forgetting the weapons, it's enough to do a lot of damage. You will be very tanky, you're not going to be dying. If you're playing level cap, persistence, sure, but you're not going to be dying. You can run whatever weapons you want. This is just a choice. If you don't play Chroma Prime, I probably wouldn't be playing Ice Storm. I would go with something like either Arcane Avenger or Arcane Hotshot, though I would say Avenger over Hotshot because Avenger actually works for Null Star. For the companion, I like the Panzer Profiler. It's really, really strong. You can use something else, but what I like about Panzer is the viral spread really helps with just nuking everything. It's pretty effortless. You can use something like the Hound, you can use Diriger if you don't have this, but this is easy to farm, so just go and farm it. It took me a couple of hours. I highly recommend, highly recommend. This is what I play. Link Fiber because our armor is big. We have a lot of armor, so this is a nice survivability for the Panzer. And Hunter Recovery helps your health to stay on top. I mean, we have Vex armor, but this on top, we're not dying. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, we're not dying. And we're also dealing a lot of damage. And for the claws, this is the build that I use. Yeah, just strong, very strong. And another cool thing I always like to point out is you have a gear wheel. If you have a gear wheel, why not use it? So, squad energy restore to start the mission, if you can. There are very few missions that block it, so... And the Atomic Cycle. So if you have the gear wheel available, these two are pretty nice. The Atomic Cycle for this is probably less relevant. You're very tanky, you can just stand there, but if you are playing level cap or something, don't forget this is available. This can give you invisibility and you just have save time to revive your companion or do whatever you want to do. So it's yeah, it's nice. Every frame has a utility to go invisible. Every frame. Without having to subsume evade on it. Yeah, this is pretty much it on the actual build, so let's run the gameplay.